Hey, I'm Lego JANG and this is XT4, set number 6229 from the Summer 2012 Breakout series from Lego Hero Factory. This is one of the villain characters. This is the smallest villain character actually from this particular series. Let's go ahead and open this bag up and see what's inside. Alright, I've laid out all the parts here, and there's actually quite a lot to talk about. Let me start with the bones. First of all, we've got a bunch of bone pieces in the light gray color. This is a color that hasn't been used very much up to now, and this is definitely going to be useful for custom stuff. We've got two of these with the two extra lengthening pinholes in them. And then all these over here are just the standard upper leg, upper arm size with no pinholes in them, and we've got a whole bunch of them. I'm not going to count them right now. Still going to try to move through this pretty quickly so we can get to the build. We've got some black ones. We've had those before. I've got one of this little short one. Okay, nothing new there. Armor wise, we've got four of these yellow pieces in number 3 size, and then we've got two of the black ones in number 6 size. So relatively long compared to most of what we've gotten in the black color in the past. These feet are actually from the Lego Ben 10 action figure series that were released some time ago, actually before Hero Factory first came out. So they've just reused these again, and I know some folks get really elitist about the Ben 10 stuff just because it's made for younger kids. We'll get over it. They're just pieces of plastic, and here they are on a brand new Hero Factory set. I'm sure they're going to work out just fine. I got a couple of these little spike pieces, kind of long spike pieces actually, in a nice bright silver. We got a big old saw. This is razor blade slicer thingy that rotates. Got a Technic pin hole in the middle. That's cool. Got a couple of these round gunmetal gray claw pieces that were used a lot in the 3.0 Hero Factory series. A couple of eyes in this one. I think he's supposed to only have one eye, but they gave me two pieces in this particular set. There is a hero core here, but that's just to give the code on the back of it, which is for the free game at herofactory.lego.com. Got a couple of these that have no friction on them. Got one of these, okay, yeah, blah, blah, blah. A couple of hoses, you know, a bunch of not all that interesting stuff. Got one of these pieces. This is a pretty useful piece that's kind of merges Technic and the newer ball and socket attachment system together. It gives you a 90-degree angle and 3 attachment points. These are pretty cool. This is actually a system piece right here that's for use with minifigures. It's used for construction equipment. You can make a jackhammer, jaws of life, various different things. This is one long, transparent neon red space antenna. This is his head. So this is a very interesting head. It's very different from anything we've had up to this point, and I appreciate it for that fact, for the fact that it is different. Once again, in the Lego action figure series though, we do have a yellow head with a single eye. It's not like we've never seen that before, but here it is again, and I think it's kind of cool, and it just has one single attachment point at the back. But this is what I was saving up for. This is alright, I'm just gonna say it, this is the cutest little torso piece that they could ever possibly make. I guess they could make it a little bit smaller, but this is just amazing. I'm just gonna stare at that for a minute because wow. I mean, I've made, you know, custom torsos to do miniature figures. I'm sure plenty of folks have done that as well, but this is one single piece that does it all together, and it actually gives you more flexibility than a lot of custom pieces would. It brings the hips really close together. They actually have a pinhole going through this middle attachment point, and this actually has a ball joint on it also, so you can attach armor there. What a cool little piece. Really short neck. Stuff you can do with this that you couldn't ever do before without it. I'm super happy about this. So let me go ahead and put it to use with the build for XT4. All right, so there's XT4, all of his glory, all of his gory. Let's give him a little spin so you can see him from some alternate angles, see just how he ends up standing, what he looks like in total. This is a really interesting character. It had the potential to be all too similar to all too many other characters that have been released in the past, but he ended up being quite very unique, and I'm not gonna even hold back right now. I'm gonna tell you that I really like this character. It's a little bit of a toss-up for me in the villain line from this wave between XT4 and Core Hunter, but I think XT4 may actually be my favorite out of all those villains, because he's got so much personality and he's got so much to him. It's one of the smaller figures, one of the smaller sets, and yet I mean, so many joints, all these different tools. So this actually spins. This is a razor spinner slicer tool thing over here, and then he's got just a couple of striking spikes that he can attack with from over here, and one from underneath and the side, and then one from up on the top, and there's, you know, it's fully articulated there. And then over here, this is a laser slicer, they call it, and it you know, this can also move around, and then these claws can open and close. The claws don't really line up as you look at them from like this, but when you look at them like this, it kind of makes sense as long as you're not looking at it directly from the front. Actually, I can move those a little bit closer together. They don't literally grab things directly, but you know, if you've temporarily taken off the little laser piece, you can kind of grab some things with that. But the idea is that he grabs things and then slices through them. So this is actually the idea of the laser beam coming out of this laser emitter here. And then the legs are different here, right? He's got the 3 section legs, and they're all done in gray. So fairly skinny on the legs, you know, not a lot of armor covering them, but I am perfectly content with that. I mean, it's a little bit unusual to leave the bones just out like that all the way around, but if you just look at it, kind of let your eyes go out of focus a little bit, that's a good look. You know, if you don't pay close attention to the fact that these are bones that are normally supposed to be covered with armor, and just look at it for what it is, he's just got a little bit of a spindly nature to him, a little bit spider-like yet bipedal, and I think it just works out. Even these strange little stump feet here, they're just kind of like pads that he just kind of you know, walks around without any toe articulation. I think it works out just fine. And then his head, he's got so much personality with just one little eye there, one little skinny head. And I think the funniest thing is that he has these teeth. They almost look like caveman teeth, like he's got kind of a you know, a caveman sort of Cro-Magnon personality, very dumb and very brutish just from looking at him, you know. But with the big eye, it's got that whole Cyclops thing going on, and he can turn his head and kind of lean it, and it can be very expressive in that way. Lots of articulation here, great for doing various poses. Just a really interesting character. If you want to, you know, you can swap the weapons and tools and things around. If you want to have both of the more powerful weapons down low and then have these two up high, you can do that, or the reverse, or have both of the powerful weapons on one side, or even retract one of them away, and you know, just think of it as these just being extras, you know. Or even you could have these two spike weapons be together at the same level and retract both of them behind his back, and just have the laser slicer here, and then the razor slicer here, and then when he needs to use these two, then he just brings them out. You know, he's a robot, so he doesn't have to follow the rules of any particular biological creature, you know, as far as his design and, you know, thinking about, you know, genetics and stuff like that. He can really be done in any sort of way that you choose. So you can rearrange his limbs freely, It's just an interesting character that invites you to do different things with him. I think he has a lot of personality, he has a lot of posability, and all in all, I just think that this is a really cool villain character, different from the norm, and yet he fits right in with the Hero Factory universe. I really hope that they do more characters like this, you know, different numbers of legs and arms and eyes and things, you know, really play more off of the variability that you can have with robotics. You can even have something that just has wheels, you know, instead of legs, or has wheels at the ends of his feet or something. So that's it for now. This is XT4 from the summer 2012 LEGO Hero Factory Breakout Wave 2 series. Thank you very much for watching this. Hope that was fun for you. It was definitely fun for me. And be sure to stay tuned for more on my channel, youtube.com/LegoJang. And always be sure to watch for new stuff coming up at hero-factory.blogspot.com. Talk to you again soon.